Next is a reading comprehension passage with a set of 4 questions. This is one of the easier passages and you should have definitely attempted this. Let's look at the first question. How did Tyler take down Trevor Roper? In the first paragraph, it is quite clearly stated that Taylor responded with an article, How to Quote Exercise for Beginners. In it, he juxtaposed quotations from his book alongside passages from the review. So he quoted passages from the book as well as from the review to show that the work, his book, as well as and the review were actually at odds. Option A says that he exemplified the causicity of the review, which he has not done. Option B says he has illustrated the apparent dichotomy between work and its review, which is correct, because he has said that the work and review were at odds, so option B will become correct. Option C says by ravaging Trevor Roper's review by questioning the seriousness of his review. This again has not been mentioned in the passage. Option D says by rearranging the review in the context of the book. He had merely quoted statements from the book as well as from the review. He has not rearranged the review in the context of the book. Hence the correct answer to this question is option B. The next question says, which of the following statements can be inferred from the passage? Option C is the correct answer, and you can find this answer in the penultimate paragraph, where author says, but Save the Internet.in argues that Airtel's differential pricing means it is not being neutral between providers of online content and that consumer choice will suffer. This is same as what is given in option C, which says that Save the Internet.in has mooted the point of net neutrality, as preference to some providers of online content would eventually affect the consumer choice. Option A is incorrect because option A states regulatory bodies in India are usually not independent of industries they regulate. If you look at the last paragraph, the first line of last paragraph says that Indian regulators do not generally enjoy a reputation for independence. Now this is only in reputation, this may or may not be correct, hence we cannot infer option A. Let's look at option B. Option B says the telecom industry might face intense competition as variable prices for data traffic would make the industry more attractive. You need to look at the last paragraph again, wherein it says the industry's poor profitability, the result of intense competition, might indeed be boosted if it were allowed to charge variable prices for data traffic. So the poor profitability is a result of intense competition, wherein option B is saying that that the industry might face intense competition because of variable prices. So option B is also incorrect. Let's look at the next question. It says, why has the author used the example of Airtel in the passage? You can find this again in the penultimate paragraph. Bharti Airtel, India's biggest operator, recently launched a scheme that gives customers free access to select group of data services. Airtel says this is little different from letting businesses provide toll-free phone lines and that it is committed to net neutrality. Let's look at our options. Option A says to show that consumer is being given more choice even though certain organizations suggest to the contrary. It's not about giving consumer more choice, but it is more of a strategy. B says to reveal that telecom companies may prefer differential pricing over net neutrality irrespective of their statements. This is what is exemplified by the offering that Airtel has made to certain consumers. And hence B will become the correct answer. If you look at option C, it says to prove that industry is in favor of net neutrality and is hand in glove with regulatory authorities. It is hand in glove with regulatory authorities is not given, and hence option C is incorrect. Option D says to justify the stand of Indian organizations of the relevant industry in the face of poor profitability is too general for this particular question. The next question says, which of the following best describes the purpose of the passage? Before we understand the purpose of this passage, we need to first understand that this is possibly a text which is taken from The Economist itself. For clarifying this, let's go to the second paragraph. Second paragraph says, the group which lobbies for net neutrality has analyzed a text box in a recent TRI discussion paper which the agency contributed to The Economist, compared with 2 original articles on which the box was based in our January 31st, 2015 issue. So this entire passage which is given to us for the questions is written from the perspective of economist. So our author will become the economist in this case. Now option A says that economist wants to show that truth used to prevail and still prevails no matter what the situation is. I think here the economist and the author of this article is addressing a very particular issue, and this option is general and is not very relevant to this particular passage. Option B says that Economist wants to clarify its position regarding net neutrality and bring into focus two-phase approach of telecom operators. In the second paragraph, it's very clear that when it's talking about how the wordings were changed for the particular article. It is targeting TRAI particularly and not talking generally about its position. Option C says that Economist is blaming the TRAI for misquoting its articles and being hand in glove with telecom operators. Again, the Economist has merely stated that TRAI has misquoted the article but has not suggested that it is hand in glove with telecom operators. Option D says Economist is presenting the situation surrounding net neutrality in light of the misquoting of its articles by TRAI. This is correct, as in the second half of the passage, the Economist has, or the author has, essentially discussed the situation surrounding net neutrality, and it has done this with the background of the misquote of the article which had earlier come in The Economist. Hence, the correct answer to this question will become option D.